Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Elmwood Park Mayor and Council to order at 8:02 p.m. for May 19th, 2016. On roll call, Council members Coletti.
Here.
Churdo.
Here.
Dombrowski.
Here.
Giandomenico.
Here.
Martino is absent due to illness. Bonsino.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum. Would everyone please rise for our prayer and flag salute? O God, our Father, we ask that you bless our meeting and entrust us to your fatherly care and protection. Please remove all selfishness and prejudice from our hearts and implant therein a keen sense of justice and a greater love for you and our neighbor. Guide us in our deliberations so that our decisions will always please you and bring peace and happiness to our community. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Start that right now. Whereas Chapter 231 of Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires that the commencement of every meeting, a state of compliance, be read by the presiding officer. Now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements for this meeting have been met by publishing an annual meeting notice in the Record of Hackensack and Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizens. Said notice has been posted on January 1, 2016.
Through you, Mayor, I'd like to welcome all of our youth council members to the dais tonight to sit along part their elected counterparts. And at this time, I would ask, starting with the mayor, and then we'll move from that end of the dais to the far end, for each of the members of the Youth Month Council to introduce themselves. Mr. Mayor?
My name is Hamza Yusuf, senior at Elmwood Park High School.
My name is Juliana Zeballos. I'm a freshman at Elmwood Park High School.
My name is Nadir Mohammed. I'm a sophomore at Elmwood Park High School.
My name is Diana Sambevsky. I'm a junior at Elmwood Park High School.
My name is Najira Ahmed, and I'm a senior at Elmwood Park High School.
My name is Tanman Patel, and I'm a freshman at Elmwood Park High School.
And our attorney?
My name is Aline Takborian, and I'm a sophomore at Memorial High School.
I would like to first begin by thanking Board of Education, Daniel Altamar, for helping organize and put this plan together. And I'd also like to thank my Deputy Clerk, Barbara Despoto, who put a lot of work into organizing tonight's event. Before we start our meeting, Mayor Mola, I don't know if you have any comments?
No, I want to see the council react to all the people that are here.
Okay, here we go. At this time, we'll move to the approval of minutes. For May 5th, 2016, our regular meeting, and May 12th, 2016, our executive session.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
First motion by Council President Vancini, second motion by Councilman Churdo. Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, council members Coletti.
Yes.
Churdo.
Yes.
Dombrowski.
Abstaining on May 5th. Abstaining on May 5th?
And yes to the executive.
Yes to the executive.
Giandomenico.
Yes.
Martino is absent. Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under ordinances, we have Resolution 189-16, introduce ordinance 16-09 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to fix the salaries, wage, and compensation of the white-collar, blue-collar employees, members of the Elmwood Park White-Collar, Blue-Collar Employees Association of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, from January 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2018. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, May 5th, 2016, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled an ordinance to fix the salaries, wage, and compensation of the white-collar, blue-collar employees, members of the Elmwood Park White-Collar, Blue-Collar Employee Association of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, from January 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2018, pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
May I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
First motion by Councilman
Giandomenico.
Giandomenico. Second motion by Council President Voncino. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard regarding this ordinance? If not, I will close the public portion. May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
First motion by Councilman Coletti, second motion by Councilman Churdo. Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, council members Coletti,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Martino,
Absent.
absent. Boncino,
Yes.
motion carries.
Mr. Administrator,
Yes, sir.
discussion on that?
Through the mayor.
Mayor, we skipped the discussion.
I apologize. Begin the discussion?
These negotiations went very well. Credit going to our Personnel Committee consisting of our Administrator Keith Kasmark, Councilman Martino, Councilperson John Domenico, and myself, along with the White and Blue Collar Employee Association representatives. We reached a fair and balanced resolve rather quickly. It's monumentally conducive to this municipality when all parties during these negotiations procedures leave the table happy. Mayor?
Any other discussion? If not, call the roll.
Okay, we've done the roll call. We're going to move on to Resolution R-190-16, introduce ordinance 16-11 on second reading. Whereas public notice has been given by the Borough Clerk that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize the resurfacing of Franklin Street, Gall Avenue, North Street, and Summit Avenue in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $295,100 to pay the cost thereof, to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such an appropriation, to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds. And whereas said ordinance was introduced and passed at a meeting held on Thursday, May 5th, 2016, and that further consideration of this ordinance would be taken up at this meeting. And whereas all persons interested in said ordinance were given the opportunity to be heard concerning same. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that an ordinance entitled a bond ordinance to authorize the resurfacing of Franklin Street, Gall Ave, North Street, and Summit Avenue in, by, and for the Borough of Elmwood Park in the County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, to appropriate the sum of $295,100 to pay the cost thereof and to make a down payment, to authorize the issuance of bonds to finance such an appropriation, and to provide for the issuance of bond anticipation notes in anticipation of the issuance of such bonds, pass on final reading. Mayor will need a motion to open to the public.
May I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
So moved.
Second.
First motion by Councilman Coletti, second motion by Councilman Dombrowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Is there anyone in the audience that would like to be heard regarding this ordinance? Seeing none, I will close the public portion. Discussion? For the record, this money was CDBG money, not Elmwood Park Town Payers money, for this, regarding this ordinance, not causing the taxpayers a dime. May I have a motion on the ordinance?
So moved.
Second.
First motion by Councilwoman Giandomenico, second motion by Council President Voncino. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Coletti,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Martino,
Absent.
Boncino,
Yes.
motion carries. Mayor, moving on to the consent agenda. This evening on the consent agenda, we have Resolution 191-16, payment of bills, Resolution 192-16, payment of escrow, Resolution 193-16, confirmation of payroll, Resolution 194-16, approve length of services awards program, LoSAP, for the year 2015 for the Elmwood Park Volunteer Ambulance Corps, Resolution 195-16, resolution supporting the Click It or Ticket mobilization from May 23rd through June 5th, 2016. Resolution 196-16, award proposal for engineering services for the Elmwood Park water tank to the Alimo Engineering Group. Resolution 197-16, resolution authorizing the release of road opening performance bond for 72-14, that's 72 Gilbert Avenue. Resolution 198-16, resolution approving building permit refund for R.J. Trowinski. Resolution 199-16, appoint part-time keyboarding clerk Mary Ellen Parente in the building department. Resolution 200-16, authorize refunds for recreation department programs. And Resolution 201-16, resolution to approve the consent agenda.
May I have excuse me. May I have a motion for the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
First motion by Councilman Coletti, second motion by Councilman Dombrowski. Call the roll call, please.
On roll call, council members Coletti,
Yes.
Churdo,
Yes.
Dombrowski,
Yes.
Giandomenico,
Yes.
Martino,
Absent.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, under departmental reports this evening, we have the municipal court report for April 2016.
May I have a motion accept and file the department report?
So moved.
Second.
First motion by Councilwoman Giandomenico, second motion by Councilman Churdo. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And Mayor, we have two raffle applications on the agenda tonight. One is for the Elmwood Park Centennial Committee 50/50 raffle. The second is for the Centennial Committee off-premise raffle application.
May I have a motion to approve the raffle applications?
So moved.
So moved.
First motion by Councilman Dombrowski, second motion by Councilman Coletti. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, Mayor. That concludes my portion of the agenda.
Councilmember Martino, what is your committee report for tonight?
There will be a homeowners association meeting on Wednesday, May 25th at 7 p.m. I'm glad the contract negotiation for the white-collar and blue-collar contract has been completed. I would like to thank all the students that have participated in tonight's meeting. Maybe this night will be stepping stone to a possible political career. Sorry I cannot be here tonight, but my recovery from a recent surgery is going well. Thank you and good luck to all.
Thank you. Councilmember Churdo, what is your committee report for tonight?
I'd like to thank our residents for being patient while all the paving is going on in town. Before you leave your house, be sure to visit our borough Facebook page to see which roads are being paved and when, so you can plan an alternate route if necessary. All paving should be completed by Memorial Day. The ADA ramps are being installed in town. They are installing them on various intersections on Market, River, Midland, and the Boulevard. If you're interested to know when they'll be installed, look at the intersection for a spray painted number. If there is a number, then that corner will be receiving a ramp. Don't forget that all yard waste should be in a barrel no larger than 32 gallons. If you know it might rain, put a lid on your can. Nothing is worse than trying to lift a 32-gallon can full of soaking wet yard waste. Yard waste can also be brought to the DPW yard Monday through Friday, 8 to 3, and Saturday, 8:30 to 12. There will be no yard waste pickup on Memorial Day. We hope to see everyone at the Memorial Day Parade. It's an opportunity to remember and thank those that fought and died defending our country, our rights, and our flag. As a follow-up from the last meeting, the ordinance labeled 3430 signs Part F states, holiday or seasonal decorations that are intended to be displayed for a short period of time not to exceed 75 days after the holiday. Failure to comply with the provisions of this subsection shall be a first offense, and a fine of $50 shall be imposed. While we appreciate your holiday spirit, it's time for those decorations to come down. If you're thinking of alternate items, why not put up an American flag, flowers, a bird feeder, or even wind chimes? Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Coletti, what is your committee report for tonight?
At the last Joint Insurance Fund Safety Meeting held yesterday, May 18th, the main topic was JIF's removal of all coverage throughout the fund on these bouncy rides you see at organizational functions and town events. What this means to our town and all other towns in JIF is when an organization rents a bouncy ride, it must come with a skilled operator and its own insurance policy. We aren't to even touch the apparatus. The total insurance coverage now lies on the supplier going forward. News regarding our recreational department. The next scheduled recreation meeting to be held on May 23rd will be canceled. Makeup date to be held sometime in June. And to the no news segment of my report, our fire department has qualified this week. It's been quiet and this is the way we like it. No news is good news. Back to you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilmember Dombrowski, what is your committee report for tonight?
Last night, May 11th, our Board of Health sponsored a free rabies vaccination clinic. This program deemed very successful since 88 vaccinations were administered, and we renewed 68 dog licenses and 6 cat licenses. Due to the success of last night, our Board of Health is considering offering another vaccination clinic in the fall. Recently, our Board of Health created a Facebook page. Those interested in finding out what our Board of Health is doing can sign on to Facebook and like Elmwood Park Board of Health. On there, you could read up on some recent meat and chicken recalls and the frozen vegetable recall. Some of this product has been sold in New Jersey, and the codes and stores sold can be found there. You will also find helpful information on the Zika virus. On May 10th, at the monthly meeting at the Chamber of Board of Directors, presented Mayor Mola with the $1,000 check for a sponsorship in the Centennial Celebration. Any businesses wishing to join Elmwood Park Regional Chamber of Commerce can call 201-796-1457, extension 230, or go to the Chamber website at www.epchamber.net. Next Wednesday, May 25th, at 7 p.m., the homeowners will meet in the Senior Center located on the south end of the Recreation Building. This month's guest speaker will be Elmwood Park School Superintendent, Mr. Anthony Greco. All Elmwood Park homeowners are encouraged to attend. Thank you, Mayor Youssef, for this opportunity to speak. Progress.
Thank you, Councilmember. Councilmember Giudiminco, what is your committee report for tonight?
Last work session, the council continued to deliberate on additional information and capital requests made by some of the department heads. I also attended the library board special meeting with Jeff Schleck from RSC Architects to further discuss the renovation plans for the library, during which time the fourth option drawing was presented and the board held a question and discussion session with the architect. The next Board of Ed meeting will be held on Tuesday, May 24th, with the work session at 6:30 and the public session at 8 p.m. Speaking to some of the board members, they received about 3 letters of interest for the Board of Ed vacancy. The interviews will be held in public. The board is currently deciding on dates for a special meeting during the week of May 30th, but a set date and time have not been finalized and should be decided on by their meeting this upcoming Tuesday. With Memorial Day upon us, many people will be heating up the grill or heading to the beach, but it is important to remember our fallen heroes and those who fought in all the wars for our freedoms. Remember to pay tribute to those who made the ultimate sacrifice for their life, for our country, and our freedoms. We salute and thank you.
The special meeting will be June 1st.
The special meeting will be June 1st.
Some of the board members just told us.
Oh.
Is that all? Thank you, Councilmember. Council President Avancino, what is your committee report for tonight?
Good evening, everyone. As you may be aware, Elmwood Park participates in the New Jersey Sustainable Energy Joint Meeting, or NJSEM, where we partner with over 175 municipalities to aggregate their individual energy requirements together for improved purchasing power on electricity and gas communities. The New Jersey Sustainable Energy Joint Meeting recently entered into an 11-month contract for natural gas with South Jersey Energy to begin in January 2017. The contract price of 51 cents per therm allows us to realize a 10% reduction over current pricing. In 1962, President John F. Kennedy signed a proclamation which designated May 15th as Peace Officers Memorial Day and the week in which that date falls as National Police Week. Tens of thousands of law enforcement officers from around the world converge on Washington, D.C. to honor those that have paid the ultimate sacrifice. Additionally, this week is also designated as EMS Week, with the 2016 theme of Call to Care. Therefore, this week it is fitting to recognize the men and women of our very own police department and volunteer ambulance corps for their service to the community. And while on the topic of police, in the spirit of community policing and to raise awareness of policing as a profession, our department is again hosting a junior police academy. Applications were distributed in our schools, and it is anticipated that enrollment will double over 2015. Building on last year's program, the 2016 Academy will take place the week of July 11th for ages 10 to 14 and the week of July 18th for ages 14 to 16. We will provide an update on the program in July. With Memorial Day a little over a week away, I would like to use this opportunity to reflect on why we remember President Ronald Reagan gave a historical speech in Normandy in North France on June 6, 1984, the 40th anniversary of D-Day. The speech took place was at the top of the cliffs of Point Duac. The Allies had been told that the concentration of enemy guns were located there, and they would have to be trained on the beaches to stop the Allied advance. At dawn on June 6, 1944, 225 U.S. Army Rangers jumped off the landing craft and ran to the bottom of these cliffs. Their mission was one of the most difficult and daring of the invasion, to climb these sheer cliffs and take out the enemy guns. In seizing the land at the top of these cliffs, the Allies began to take back the continent of Europe. 225 Rangers landed that morning. After 2 days of fighting, only 20 could still bear arms. President Reagan concluded by saying, "Strengthened by their courage, heartened by their valor, and borne by their memory, let us continue to stand for the ideals for which they lived and died." So, whether it is for the Ranger actions of 1944, 60 years later, the Marines battling for Fallujah, Iraq, or 60 years from now in some future conflict threatening our democracy, always take time out on the last Monday of May to remember and honor the sacrifice of men and women who died in service for our nation. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Borough Attorney, do you have anything to report?
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to advise the Mayor and Council, as well as all property owners in Elmwood Park, that the 2016 County Tax Board appeals are scheduled for May 26, 2016, beginning at 9 a.m. The hearings will take place at the County Tax Board offices located at 1 Bergen County Plaza, Hackensack, New Jersey. If you have appealed your taxes for 2016, please be sure to attend the hearings either in person or by sending your attorney. Thank you.
Thank you. Now I'll read my report. Under the mayor's report, we have many of our roads resurfaced by PCNG in recent weeks, at no cost to the taxpayer. These roads are being paid for by PSENG as part of the installation of new gas lines in many areas of our town. We recently met with the county parks director at the old Garfield Waterworks property, which is now a county park. The county will be starting some tree removal efforts and some cleanup of the park. It was a productive meeting. That is all I have to say. May I have a motion to open the floor for public comment?
Yes.
Second.
First motion by Council President Valancini, second motion by Councilman Cherto. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone wishing to speak, please come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record.
If it's a problem, you answer.
Sir, if you could state your name and address for the record.
Name is Chris Dellman. Address is 73 Summit Ave. Keith helped me pass out a quick thing I printed out to all council members regarding ADA compliance with crosswalks and the repaving. I spoke to Northern Murphy, the borough engineer, and I was actually informed by Keith, the borough clerk, that they contacted PSE&G and are trying to figure out why they're not holding to compliance. He told me he won't be here tonight. He'll be at the work meeting next week, around the 26th, I believe it is. So I think I should just wait and come to that and see what he's found out.
Yeah, through you, Mayor, I'm hopeful that we'll even have an answer for you, or at least a response from PSE&G, because it's not really our answer to provide. We're relaying you information. Just to bring the council up to speed on this issue, as we're all cognizant of, if we undertake a road resurfacing project in town, whether it be grant funded or whether we fund it locally through a bond ordinance, we're obligated to meet all of the ADA handicap requirements that are brought down by the federal government. I think a little surprising to everybody is that through this PSE&G Energy Strong project that has taken up a significant amount of infrastructure repairs, that they have not been required to meet those same ADA requirements that the municipality or the county would be required to when we're doing our road resurfacing. So we've circled back now, both myself and Norton Murphy with PSE&G, to try to at least identify what their position on this is, find out why they were not meeting the same criteria that we're required to meet, and then we will certainly be back in touch with you. Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? If not, does regular council have any comments?
I'm sorry, Mayor, what'd you say?
Regular council have any comments?
I would just like to take this opportunity to thank the students and their parents for being active members of our community. And just so you guys all know, you guys are creating great footsteps on the roadmap of your life. And if you just continue with this ambition and dedication to everything that you take on in life, you're going to excel in everything you do. And you should lead always by example and push along your friends to do the same, to be active in community, get to know your local government, your board members and everything, because they have a large impact in your life. And thank you to the students and thank you to the parents for being part of our community.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor, for the opportunity to speak. I'd just like to congratulate these young men and women for coming up here tonight and taking over for the council and the mayor, as well as our attorney. I'd like to also thank Danny Altamar for getting the project started, and this is something that's good that I'd like to see happen more often. And with the up-and-coming Memorial Day, I wish all the veterans a somber but safe, enjoyable day, and where we could sit down, relax, sit down and reflect on what has happened over the years. And happy Memorial Day to everybody. Hope to see you out at the parade.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to, again, take this opportunity to thank and congratulate the youth council members up here for doing the heavy lifting tonight, and also thank their families. It was, I guess in my tenure, this is the first time we've done this, and I think we should do this on an annual basis.
I knew that was coming.
Yeah, so give Keith something to put on his list of things to do. This actually, I mean, it gives you an idea of how government runs at the local level, and probably a good view of how it extends up to the state and the national level. And it's important to be involved, whether you're involved up here or whether you're involved on election day in the voting booth, because the decisions you make determine how our government functions. So again, I commend you for taking the time out and doing this. And I'd also like to make mention of Memorial Day and to honor those who gave their life in the service to our country. And while it's a holiday weekend, everybody have a safe and enjoyable long weekend coming up. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, I feel like I'm in a time warp here. I turn around and I look up and I see this bright young man, good-looking young man, and I'm not used to seeing that. So it's like Back to the Future, if you will. So I'm sure I'm going to be in a doghouse with the mayor on this statement here. But no, you students did a very, very good job. It's not easy. As a matter of fact, it took me 14 years to do what you did in one night. So, great job, a great experience. You're never going to forget that. And probably one of you are going to go into politics or elected official. And this might be the start. And to think that we all had something to do with it makes me feel very good. God bless you and go in Godspeed.
Pretty much ditto everybody else's comments in a way. It's just really, I enjoyed it. It was only 30 minutes, but I had a good time getting to know Ken May and hearing about him, talking about myself, and, you know, just answering the questions. You know, how did you get involved? Why did you get involved? And, you know, I hope, even though it was short, I hope you take a little of what I said and, you know, you remember that. And, it's really just that ability to give back. That's my main thought, and it's nice to see really how well the students did. I know I would have been pretty scared to be up here, let alone realize I'm being videotaped and everybody's going to see it in a couple of days.
They didn't know that, though. They didn't know that when they were doing it.
So I really do congratulate you guys for your abilities to present yourself very professionally tonight. Thank you.
And that is not Councilman Martino down there at the end, but I want to thank my deputy, Barbara Despoto, for stepping in and coaching her youth counterpart along. Mayor, I don't know if you'd like to open up the floor to each of your youth counterparts to see if they have any reflections on the event here.
Sure.
May I say something?
Let me leave.
Obviously, after everyone has spoken and indicated what a good job you've done, and hopefully you stay involved and come to some of our meetings, and if you have any questions or any suggestions, we'd like to hear them. Maybe it will help us out a little bit. I would also like to indicate that I'm going to call up Danny out tomorrow to come up. I have certificates for each of the council people and the mayor. He will distribute them. And for everyone here, I spoke to our reporter, who is also our photographer. And at the end of the meeting, will you please stay here? We'll go up to the front and we will take a picture of you, the new council, and the council behind you, so that we have a photo to put in the community news. And as Mr. Coletti has indicated, that as a young man, I know I'll be noticed. Will you take these? They're mayor's certificates, and I have to apologize. Here, you take this. I have to apologize because I rushed down here and left certificates at home that are going to be given out by the Centennial Committee. So you're going to have this from my office, and the Centennial Committee will have a certificate for all of you. You want to come back again? Come back in 100 years, we'll do this again. Will I be here? Thank you. Thank you, everybody, and thank the audience.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First off, I'd like to thank the council for allowing the students to come up here and do this great event. I think that they were welcomed with open arms, and I really appreciate that from the council. I think it was great for the students. And I'd also like to thank the students for coming out tonight on their busy schedule. I know it's coming AP testing is probably over, and you're studying for finals, so I know it's a hectic time, but I really appreciate it. At this time, I'm going to hand out certificates to the participating students. This evening's mayor, Hamza Yusuf.
Thank you.
Councilman Tanmay Patel. Councilwoman Najira Ahmed. Councilman Nadir Mohammed. Councilwoman Juliana Ceballos. Councilwoman Diana Simbesky.
Thank you.
Councilman Zachary Ahmad. And our borough attorney, Eileen Takorian.
Before the meeting is adjourned, I'd just like to indicate to you that we'll be having a Memorial Day parade, as was indicated, that we have every year. 2 weeks later, we're having our Centennial Parade, which will be much bigger, more grander, and all of you are invited to come to this parade. It's going to be the biggest parade we've ever had in Elmwood Park. So the whole community, people watching on video, people on television, whatever, come to the parade, you'll enjoy it, and you guys are invited to participate and walk with us, okay? Very good, thank you.
Excuse me, Mayor, can we have the youth council say a couple of words before we adjourn?
Sure. Of course.
So we could hear their perspective?
Yes.
You want the real mayor, right?
The younger mayor.
The more handsome mayor.
I guess I'll go last as mayor's go last. So we'll start with...
I'd like to thank everyone who helped make this opportunity. I think it's really important for students to get involved into our community, and I think this opportunity was a great way to let me do that, and I truly thank you all for that. So, yes, thank you.
First off, I'd like to thank all the council members, the clerk, and Mr. Altamar for making this happen. This definitely gave me a better insight into the legislative process of this town, and hopefully I look forward to coming back here next year.
I'd also like to thank everyone who participated and made this happen. I take part in a few clubs, student government, mock trial, so I'm very interested in government legislative activities, and I found that this was very enjoyable, and we only had 30 minutes, and I think we were well prepared, and I had an enjoyable time, so I'm thankful for the opportunity.
I'd also like to thank everyone who made this possible. It was a great opportunity and an honor to meet everyone. So thank you for allowing us to be here tonight.
I'd like to thank Daniel Altamar for making this possible and Councilman Trudeau for welcoming me with open arms. And I think it's great because we're all part of the first youth council. We are the first, right?
Yes, to my understanding.
Yeah, we are the first. I mean, and we're now part of the Elmwood Park system.
Pretty much everyone wrapped it. I want to thank the Borough of Elmwood Park for giving us this opportunity, and also one of my best friends, Husband Yusuf, for me opening my eyes into politics. It's been a really, really great experience. I also want to thank Danny Altamar for setting this all up for all of us, our students, and thank you very much. Mayor.
So I'd just like to thank everybody for giving me this opportunity to learn a little something about how everything is run in this town, and I think it's really a valuable experience for me to have had. So thank you for that, and maybe for a potential career opportunity in the future. Thank you.
I'd like to thank someone who's out here, Miss Alfonso. She's our Student Congress class advisor, and she, along with Daniel Altamar, definitely put this all through together. And a big thank you to you guys. I'd just like to say the biggest thing I've learned today is what's really behind that door. I've always wondered what was there. So having the opportunity, it was definitely good. I got to speak with Mr. Mola. Sat in the office. I remember as a kid, I used to come to your office. I used to send him letters. In Gaynor Ave, there's a sign that says no dogs are allowed in the school, and I'm afraid of dogs, at least at the time. And there was dogs that were coming, and I remember it was the first thing I ever did in the government process, and to see, to come back and all these years later and have open arms with all the council members and Mayor Mola as well. It was definitely an awesome experience I will never forget. So thank you all. May I have a motion to May I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
First motion by Councilman Coletti, second motion by Councilman Dombrowski. All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Everyone up here, please go in the front. We'll have the photographer, we'll have the youth council and mayor in the front, and we'll stand behind, okay?
Excellent job. Excellent. Wow, that was bold.
So, I don't know that it would be. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. Good job.
first became mayor, someone in the audience was nasty, and I brought the gavel. This is the judge's gavel. I brought it. I haven't had a gavel in like 44 years.
Do you have an extra copy of the color code or no? Do you have an extra copy of the color code?
Do I hold it while I'm talking?
For the council people here.